So what is up people, welcome back to another video, and today we'll be seeing a nice game. And this game was played by Delmar Saxton versus Howard Ohman. So these are not very popular players, but their games are remembered for beauty. And let's check out what happened on the board. And the year in which this game was played was 1947. So white started with d4, knight f6. Here instead of knight f6, black has d5. He has g6 or even e6, and if white plays e4, this can convert into the French defense. But in the game we have knight f6, c4, e6, knight c3, pawn b6. Black wants to venture to the bishop on b7, e4, opening the light square bishop's diagonal, bishop b4, pinning the knight, and now the threat is knight takes e4, e5, advancing the pawn and attacking the knight, knight e4, putting pressure on the knight on c3, queen g4. Now it's double attack. The queen has came on an active square, attacking the e4 knight as well as the g7 pawn. Here black captured knight takes c3. We have b takes c3, bishop takes c3 check, king d1. And here black didn't capture the rook on a1. But let's see what if he had captured. Then white can continue with queen takes g7. That is the only move which can give some advantage. So rook f8 is forced. Then here comes bishop g5, attacking the queen. The queen has no square to go, so f6 is forced. Bishop takes f6, attacking the queen, and force black to give up the rook. And after e takes f6, right now the threat is queen g8 checkmate. So how can black stop this? No, black can't stop this. So yeah, white will be winning in this position. So let's get to our position. Black didn't capture the rook. He played king f8, guarding the g7 pawn, rook b1, saving the rook, c5 by black, knight e2, developing the piece with a tempo, attacking the bishop, bishop takes d4, knight takes d4, c takes d4. Grabbing the pawn is not a good move for white, as the queen is actively placed on g4. Instead, white should think of developing more pieces. So what would you play in this position? It's not a critical position, it's just a good move. Ready? Yeah, the obvious move is bishop a3, developing the piece with check, king g8. Now the king has and now the black king has been trapped on the g8 square. This a3 bishop is a monster, slicing half of the board, and in this position it is white to play. You need to create a plan, you need to create a mating attack, and try to guess the move which white played in this position. You need to create a plan. For that plan you need to bring more of your pieces. Perhaps in this position bishop to d3 comes to mind, developing the piece, but white played a very good move and created a nasty threat. Ready? And the move is rook b3. Now white wants to shift the rook to the g3 square, putting more pressure on the king. Not only that, but white has created a deadly combination over here, and not suspecting anything. Black played knight c6. Now pause the video It is white to play and to finish off black. Yeah, ready? And here comes the brilliant king hunt, and starting starting is much prettier with queen takes g7, giving no chance. The only move king takes g7, giving up the whole queen to bring the black king near, and the follow up is rook g3 check. Here black can give up the queen. In the game he played king h6, which is forced, so king h6, and now the king is cut off from the g file, and the bishop retreats on c1 with check, with king h5 and bishop e2 check. The only legal move is king h4, and the finishing move rook h3, the checkmate. So just a small combinational game to lighten up your day. I hope you learned something new. Thanks for watching.